The truth: the world never expected the wedding that didn't just rewrite a story. It rewrote history. It began with a single question. A question whispered online for years, carried through fan forums, buried beneath rumors, dismissed by skeptics, yet kept alive by millions who felt something deeper beneath the surface. Is their bond simply friendship, or something far more profound? For years, neither Wang Yibo nor Xiao Zhan confirmed anything. They protected their privacy fiercely. They focused on their careers. They allowed the world to speculate without ever giving the theories fuel. Until now. Until the day everything changed. Until the moment they stepped forward with a revelation so unexpected, so moving, that fans across the world broke into tears as truth replaced rumor, and silence transformed into history. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update in the world of your favorite celebrities. Because the wedding the world once thought impossible finally happened. The unexpected beginning, the moment that changed two lives forever. To understand how we arrived at this moment, we must go back years, back to the set where everything began. A set filled with early mornings, late nights, exhaustion, laughter, and a strange quiet connection that neither actor tried to explain. On camera, they created a legendary partnership. Off camera, something even more powerful took root. They supported each other. They listened to each other. They understood each other in a way only two people surviving the same storms could. But their bond was formed not in public moments, but in private ones. A conversation behind a trailer after a long shoot. A late-night message checking in during stressful days. A quiet meal shared not as celebrities, but as two human beings looking for comfort in a world that demanded perfection. For years, they stayed by each other's side, quietly, respectfully, without giving the world more than necessary. But true connection doesn't fade. It grows. It matures. It leads to moments that cannot be hidden forever. The invitation that started the rumors again, it happened in early 2025. Industry insiders began whispering about an upcoming private ceremony involving two major stars. No names were leaked. No details were public. Only that the event would be small, deeply personal, and protected under extreme confidentiality. Most people ignored the rumor. Until someone saw Xiao Zhan boarding a flight to an undisclosed location. And Wang Yibo boarding another plane only hours later. The speculation ignited instantly. But still, no confirmation came. Silence, as always, guarded the truth. What fans didn't know was this: they weren't flying to a schedule. They weren't flying to a concert. They were flying to a promise. The private ceremony that brought the world to tears. The wedding was held in a quiet garden estate near a mountain range, an estate known for silence, sunlight, and breathtaking scenery untouched by photographers. Only family, closest friends, and a handful of staff attended. The ceremony was simple. No extravagant arches. No dramatic stage lights. No media. No reporters. Just sincerity. Just two people choosing each other. Xiao Zhan arrived wearing a clean, elegant suit custom-tailored for the day. Wang Yibo wore a matching one, minimalist, simple, perfectly styled in his signature understated taste. There were no flashy entrances. No cameras. No performance. According to someone present, the moment they saw each other, everything went quiet, as if the world had paused to witness something sacred. The vows were handwritten. Xiao Zhan's voice was soft, steady, filled with warmth. Wang Yibo's voice was low, emotional, cracking slightly when he said the words everyone would later repeat, "Because with you, I found peace." The ceremony lasted less than 30 minutes. But its impact will last forever. The reason they finally decided to share the news, fans always wondered why, after years of silence, the couple finally chose to reveal the truth. The answer lies not in pressure, not in rumors, not in public demand. The answer lies in something Wang Yibo said quietly after the ceremony, as the families gathered around the small celebration table. "We are not afraid anymore. For the first time, they felt stable enough, mature enough, grounded enough to allow the world to see what they had carefully guarded for so long. Not to shock. Not to trend. But to acknowledge a truth that deserved to exist beyond whispers. The statement that broke the internet: their agencies released one simple joint announcement. A private ceremony was held surrounded by close family members. We hope fans will support and respect this personal milestone. It was formal. It was brief. It was controlled. But then, hours later, came the message that truly shattered the internet. A handwritten note, posted quietly on Xiao Zhan's official feed. We chose each other a long time ago. Today, we simply made it official. And then, on his own platform, Wang Yibo posted, whatever comes next, we face it together. In less than 10 minutes, global servers crashed under the weight of reactions. Fans cried. Fans celebrated. Fans posted edits, analysis, and tributes. Artists sketched artwork. Editors created documentaries. Supportive messages poured in from across continents. They had no idea their love would touch so many lives. But it did. And it continues to. The moment that moved the world to tears. During their small reception, a close friend asked them one question: how do you feel now that everything is finally out in the open? Xiao Zhan smiled gently. Free. Wang Yibo nodded. And grateful. They didn't need fame. They didn't need spectacle. They didn't need a grand gesture. They only needed each other. And now the world finally knows the truth. Their story is no longer a rumor. No longer a theory. No longer a wish whispered in fan circles. It is real. It is theirs. And it has only just begun. The journey to a place without names, only their families knew where they went. A remote region by the sea, a place with no paparazzi, no curious onlookers, no cell phone signal strong enough to disrupt peace. It was a village known for quiet sunrises and gentle tides, where the air smelled of salt and pine, and the only sounds at night were the waves breathing against the sand. They arrived after sunset. No drivers. No assistants. Just 2 suitcases. Just 2 people finally free. The locals didn't recognize them. They weren't stars here. They weren't legends. They were simply travelers, a pair who moved with calm synchronicity, who looked at each other with a warmth deeper than anything the world had ever seen. For the first time in years, they could walk without being watched. They could speak without being recorded. They could exist without being interpreted. And that simplicity became their sanctuary. The night they finally spoke about everything one evening, under a sky filled with stars brighter than city lights ever allowed, they sat by the shore, feet buried in the sand, waves touching the tips of their shoes. It was said to be the first time they spoke openly about the weight they carried. For years, they stood under relentless scrutiny. Every smile analyzed. Every silence misinterpreted. Every step magnified into a new headline. But there, beneath the sky's quiet witness, they let the words spill freely. I never wanted you to carry the pressure alone, Xiao Zhan admitted softly. Wang Yibo's reply was gentle, sincere. We carried it together. Always. It wasn't dramatic. It was not intense. It was a release, the kind that comes when 2 souls who have endured storms finally find calm waters. That moment became the emotional anchor of their honeymoon. A rediscovery of each other outside the noise. A reminder of why they had chosen this path. The promise made at sunrise the next morning, as the sun rose in quiet gold across the horizon, they made a promise that sealed the next chapter of their lives. Not to the world. Not to their careers. Not to their fans. To each other. Whatever challenges come, we meet them side by side. It was not said dramatically. It was spoken like a truth they had carried long before the wedding. A truth solidified by every hardship and every triumph. That vow became the private thread tying them together through the days that followed. The letter Wang Yibo wrote but never shared during their final night in the village. Wang Yibo wrote something in a small notebook he carried everywhere. A habit he had developed over the years, usually filled with choreography ideas, lyrics, or motorcycle notes. But this time it was different. It was a letter. A letter he never posted online. A letter he never mentioned in interviews. A letter meant for one person alone. It said, in quiet, steady handwriting, "A life with you is the life I want. Not perfect. Not easy. But real. And I choose it every day." When he finished writing, he didn't hand it over. He simply left the notebook on the bedside table and walked outside to breathe in the ocean air. Later that night, Xiao Zhan found it. He read the words. He closed the notebook. And he placed it gently beside Yibo's pillow. He didn't need to respond. His silence was a response itself. A deep, quiet recognition of feelings that needed no explanation.